In this video, we'll go ahead and we'll put in the add button or that new button so we can add a new order. And then we'll configure the view edit button so that we can go and view our orders as well. So let's go jump into Mendix. And share. Let me turn off my video just in case it gets in the way. All right. So here I'm on my order list screen. This is where we want to go ahead and do it. So to add our button over on the edge here, let's go have a quick look at our customer list screen. Just to review, we're going to add a button that looks like this. So we can add a new order in this case. And then we're going to add a button like this. So let's start with this. We've got a plus sign. It uses the word new and it's got a green background. So here we go. Order list. We want to select the column that our heading is in up here. And then we're going to add a new column. So I'm going to use the breadcrumb way of doing it. Just back up to get the column. I'm going to right click on column. I'm going to add a column to the right. I'm going to highlight this column. I'm going to open it up. And I'm going to say, make this column only 1 unit in width. Remember, the standard is 12. 1, manual, 1. Okay. And there, that's perfect. And then we want to search for a button. We're going to do a create button. You can start with the word create if you want. And we're going to drag that out. And it wants to know which entity are you creating. So we go down into my first module. We're creating a new order and select. And with this, we're going to next configure the button. We're going to double click on it. The icon is the plus sign. Glyphicon plus select. And the render mode is button. And the button style is going to be success. On click action, we're going to create an object in the order entity. And once that row has been added out there, we want to show our order new edit page. So our on click page, click select. We haven't created that page yet, so we'll just say new. And it by default names it order new edit. The navigation. Remember our new edit pages, we want to be the pop-out. Do the pop-out layout. And again, choose the same form template or layout that you did for your other screens. So form horizontal is what I chose. And then say OK. And we can see over here, we now have this order new edit. So let's pull it up and have a look at it. And one of the things that's nice here is it goes ahead and it brings all of our data that's in our order table. And then it also brings in the customer, the first data element in the customer table because of the relationship, and the first data element from product. And these are going to be drop downs, right? So when we add a new order, system is going to assign the order number. We can put in the order date, the pickup date, and then we're going to select which customer this is for using a drop down. And then we're going to select which product they ordered. We're going to use a drop down. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this isn't the most sophisticated app out there. We're only able to order 1 product per order. If we were doing this as a real live system, you would probably then have like a little grid down here or a little something where you could add multiple products to the order. But for our purposes, we're just going to leave it at 1. Now you want to think about the order here. And in my mind, I think it makes sense to have the order number, then the customer who's ordering it, maybe then the order date, pickup date, and then product. You can decide the order that you want, but customize it a little bit. So I've clicked on this drop down customer, and I'm just going to drag it up, so easy. And I'm just going to put it after order number, but before order date. Okay. So there we go. To be consistent with my other screens, I'm going to take this title and I'm going to change the title to be order details. And we'll say, okay. We can also anticipate that we're going to want some required data here. We're going to want to add some edits to put in required data. Now, order number, because it's that auto number, is going to be auto-assigned. In fact, it won't let the user type anything in here. So we can leave that as it is. But in talking to Hannah, she says, well, you know, in reality, I really need all 4 of these pieces of information in order for an order to be complete. If I'm missing the customer, that's no good. I don't know who the order's from. If I'm missing the product, that's no good. I don't know what they ordered. If I don't know the order date or the pickup date, it makes it really hard for planning. So let's go ahead and make these 4 pieces of data all required. And if you remember how to do that, highlight the data, double click, come down to the validation, show it as required. And again, we're not going to use a custom message. We're just going to let the default message stand. Order date, double click, validation, and required. Now this is kind of interesting. Like I say, Mendix keeps enhancing and improving. This is something I had not seen before. You can see in validation, it has a date in the future, a date in the past, or you can do a custom date. So that's something you might want to talk to Hannah about and say, hey, do we want to put some of these more sophisticated edits in? And validation is required. Okay. And the product. We're going to double click, validation, required, and okay. And the other thing that you might be anticipating from our sprint 1 is we're going to probably want a delete button as well. In case our order gets messed up or a client changes their mind, we'll want to make sure that we can delete an order. So come over to our right-hand side, have your widgets highlighted. In the search for delete. And we're going to take that delete button and we're going to put it the same place that we put it on our other NewEdit screens, right after the cancel button. If you put yours someplace else, that's fine. Just make sure that all of your detail screens, all of those NewEdit screens have it in the same spot. And again, we're going to configure it to look just like the other ones. You can have a quick look. Customer NewEdit. It's just going to be a red button with a trash can. Product NewEdit, red button with a trash can. So our order NewEdit, you guessed it, is going to be the red button with the trash can. So let's get that configured. Double click, no words, icon, select, use the glyphicon, and we chose trash. And it's going to be a button. The button style is going to be danger. On click action, it's going to delete. And we do want to close the page because it makes no sense to stay on the page after you've deleted that product or after you've deleted that order. Okay. So let's go try this out and see how it works. We'll first save all, file, save all. And then we'll run it. And your app is running. Let's go ahead and view. And look at that, it looks pretty good. Here's our orders. Let's go ahead and see if we can add an order. Does it work to click and go to the order list? Yes, it does. And we haven't not added any orders yet. So let's go ahead and click new to add a new order. And you can see the auto number 1, it won't let us type here. That's just assigning the next available number. Since this is our first order, it's going to be order number 1. I have this cool drop down where I can select my customer. I'm going to sell something to myself, I think. The order date, we have this cool date picker. We didn't have to code any of that. It just came with the low code environment because I set my data type up to be a date time. So the order date, we can go ahead and pick a date here in August, and the pickup date we'll set here to be a week or so later. And what am I ordering? Let's see, what sounds good to me? I think I will get the princess cake. Okay, and we will save. Haha, look at that. There's my order. Now, one of the things I wasn't sure is how busy this was going to look and if it was going to look all right. I think it looks pretty good. You can play around with this and get it to your liking if you'd like. Go ahead and try our required edits. Say new. Notice I have number 2. If I save, yep, I get all of the requireds out there. So Ian is going to order on the 3rd, going to pick it up on the 17th, and Ian is going to get a, I don't know, maybe a chocolate cupcake. And we'll save. All right. Now, one thing I didn't do is I didn't configure this little button to go view edit, and I didn't configure my navigation over here. So let's go ahead and do that next. We'll go back to our Mendix, and we will go back to our order list, and we're going to take this button. Do y'all remember how it's supposed to look? It's supposed to look the same as on the other ones, right? Let's go take a quick peek. Customer list, it's supposed to say view edit with that little chevron or caret, whatever you want to call it. And it's supposed to have a blue background. So let's go do that. Order list. We're going to take the little button that's already there, and we're going to double click to configure it. The caption is going to be view edit. We decided that the icon is just fine. It's going to be a button though, and the button style is going to be info. On click action, we want to go to a page, show a page. Which page do we want? It already exists. It's our order new edit page. Select and OK. All right, that looks good. And then let's go do our navigation, and then we'll have one final test of that. Remember, our navigation is up in this app area here. So I'm going to expand that out. I'm going to put navigation here, double click to open it. You can see we had a couple of items. We have our navigation. We can see the navigation that's already set up. We're going to do new item, the caption. Again, we want to be consistent. We've got order list and the icon. Let's go see if we can find a shopping cart out there. Just going to search for cart. And sure enough, we've got the shopping cart. Select. And on click action, we want to show a page. Which page are we going to show? The order list page. And select. And OK. And it showed up. All right. File. Save all. And we're going to go and view our app, and we can test our navigation out. We've already validated that this works. Let's go see if this navigation works here. Sure enough. We can try view edit, and we can get to our order. We can save it. We can cancel it. All right, so now you've got your order processing set up.